Hi guys, welcome back to Experience with Amo. I totally want to start by apologizing. It's been over 2 years that I haven't been on this platform. Why? So much has happened. Guess what? These 2 years birthed me a baby. I mean, I have a whole baby, a whole human being. Like, I'm talking a baby, yeah. So I was away because I was busy having a baby, one, and two, I was also busy birthing this right here. Power Blooms. I now have a flower shop called Power Blooms. I am now a florist. So yeah. But what brings me back today here suddenly is what we all know. COVID-19, the monster. And what better way to come back than give you an experience of what I went through with a torturous disease that is ravaging the whole world and especially my country right now. I'm super sad, but hey, life has to go on. The French say c'est la vie. So welcome back to Experience with Amo. It's a bittersweet story because I mean I came out of it, my husband came out of it, over five of my sisters, my parents. I mean God has been super faithful that I don't even know where to start from, but we will start anyway. So as we all know, COVID-19, started hitting the world in 2019, but especially Uganda in January, February, March with 2019. We had our first cases, and fast forward, we had our first lockdown in March. And my country really handled this well. Kudos to our president. He did so well. Not till about a month or so ago, where the new variants kicked in and it's not looking good. But guess what? We look up to the hills, to the heavens, where our help comes from. That's my go-to psalm, especially in this hardest time. Psalms 121. So guys, let's dig into my experience. Fast forward, May 20th. Yes, that was the date. My husband was meant to go to the eastern part of Uganda as he's working with Talent Africa for the Power Star. So they were supposed to go and shoot the regionals in Bali. And then in the night, he woke up, he was sweating, and he said, guess what? I am really hot. But because he's such a workaholic, I told him, you're just tired. Early morning, he was still hot. He was super tired. So he had body joint pain and all the malaria symptoms. So I told him, what, let's start with malaria. And then he calls his friend at his workplace, and the friend says, you know what, I think you should test for COVID. And when he told me that, we all know we don't want to think about COVID. We don't want to. We know it's there, but we don't want to think that it is actually in our space. So we take a very rapid test, and then I left my husband taking the test as I had to go and pick my kids from school. And then guess who calls me? The guy who was testing him. And he was like, Mary, after picking the kids from school, you need to pass by the hospital. I told him to do what? He was like, Cyril tested positive. And I was like, what? Guys, I stopped. My world stopped. Like, I stopped driving. I held my face. I was driving to pick the kids. I was like, then what now? My world kind of like shut down. But then again, I remembered who I was in Christ, and I thank God for my spiritual life. I said, it's well. I picked the kids from school, and then now I was thinking we all have to get tested in the house because COVID-19 is not like you get it today and you stop everything. It's been in the system. So we called back the guy. Fortunately, he was able to come and test us all at home. So he tests all of us, and we're all negative, and we're like, yay! We're all negative. And then now, this is when it kicks in, You have a COVID patient in the house. You have children in the house. As you all know, I have a 9-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, then I have a baby. And then I have a whole lot of other people living in the house. Guys, it was tough. I call my sisters. my big sisters, and one of them rushes here, and I'm like, look here, you don't have to come. But man, my family is also just like that. It's a super close-knit family. My big sister shows up, she comes into the house, she's like, you know what, Amo, it's what it is here, there's nothing we're going to do about it. So we just have to evacuate you and the baby out of the room. And then, you know, so we organized the master room for my husband. He stayed there. At this point, he's really shaking. He is really tired. His chest is hurting him so bad. And so we get him the first medication. He takes the first dose of the usual vitamins. So he takes vitamin C, he takes zinc. Then my sister also makes concoction. Shout out to my sister Bena. She makes this crazy good concoctions that when you take them, man, turmeric, aniseed, I don't know what she puts in there, garlic, but they're all amazing. So we give my husband all this stuff, and then we put him to bed, and then we now have to have that big conversation with the rest of the family and the children. And so we sit them down, we say, look here guys, daddy is not well. So they're like, what's his problem, you know? And we're trying to dodge the whole COVID thing. We're like, no, you know, daddy was in contact with someone who had COVID, and now he has to stay in the bedroom, and when he comes out he has to put on gloves, he has to wear a mask, you can't hug him. I mean, that was the worst part. You can hug Papa, you can give him kisses. Generally, you can't do all that stuff. For a minute, they seem to understand. They're like, oh, okay. And then the worst part was the baby. She's so close with her dad that it was, the worst part was to wait and see him come, and she's always falling over, and then she couldn't take him. So the kids understood, my helpers in the house understood, my nephew understood. And day 2, day 3, day 4, he's starting to get back. He comes out, he sits out for vitamin D. We're like, yes. Every time I'm encouraging him in the middle of the night, I'm like, I open the door, I check, dude, how are you? He's like, I'm okay. The fever kept going up and down, but it was going. Day 5, this part of my body here. Guys, here. I started feeling it, and I'm like, no, wait. I had a backache, like a super backache. And I'm like, I remember that thing people used to say, Rona, is that you? I'm like, no. Then my nephew tells me, no, auntie, you know it's the bed, because you know I moved away from my bedroom, and so now I was in the visitor's room. He's like, no, auntie, that bed is so bad. So for 1 minute I was consoled, but then the pain kept coming back. This pain, I've never experienced it. Not at childbirth, not when I'm tired, never. So I'm there, I call my big sister again. I say, you know what? I have body chills. I think I'm really sick. She says, okay. Even Sharon is another sister of mine, is feeling the same. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe we could just all come together and do the test again. So day 5, we do the test. And I was positive. And this time I'm positive with totally different symptoms. So guys, different symptoms. I'm going to come and talk about that. Different symptoms. I have pain just here. I don't have headache. The headache I had was, fast forward, the day before my husband was diagnosed with COVID. It was my birthday. And so I popped a champagne bottle in my eye. I know, that's funny. It popped right here. So I had that headache, which I knew was tucked away thanks to the cock pain. Little did I know that actually my entire headache was concentrated there, and it was hiding right behind where the accident happened. So I am positive. I am trying to keep calm. I'm thinking the baby is sleeping with me. I'm thinking about my 8-year-old, my 6-year-old. I'm thinking about the 9-year-old. I'm thinking, wait, they've not been able to see their dad. Now also me. So all the things are going through my mind, and guess what, guys? I shut down. I just shut down. I shut down, and when I shut down, I was afraid of the night. I was just afraid of everything, and unfortunately, I had all of it in my head. So I had a mental breakdown first night. Mental breakdown. Everything went. I was thinking people who are dying, people who are losing. I was thinking the worst. So the first night, I had a mental breakdown. Second day, I was okay. Thanks to family, man, my sisters, shout out to you guys. You're like Liverpool, you know, the slogan of Liverpool, I guess you all know that. I will never stand alone. You guys were amazing. Day 3, I'm okay. Day 4, I am really tired. I get super tired from nowhere. Day 4, around 11 p.m., I start to lose my breath, guys. Like completely. I have something here and it's choking me. And I've already steamed. I've played in the evening. I've done my badminton, which was the game that we were playing. I have sat vitamin D. I have eaten my fruits, the concoctions. I've taken the prescribed medication, but I just could not breathe. It was the worst, and I never want anybody to go through that. That's why I am sharing this video, so that I share the experience and what helped me out of it, and you can also share whatever it is, if you felt the same, whatever it is that you did, so people don't have to go through it. Yeah, so first thing first, I called all my sisters. Their phones were off. I called my pastor, and I told him, you know what, Uncle B, I'm doing badly. I can't breathe. And straight away he says, no, I know what that is. Just, I want you to get all the herbal teas you have in the house, mix them all together, and drink. And I just want you to continue drinking a flask of hot water. At this point, I get my sister online. So I tell her what I was feeling. She says, Amo, I want you to calm down once, sit down, and listen to me. So she just starts to tell me stories as I'm sipping my hot water. I steamed again. I walked out. There was fresh air, and then in about 2 to 3 hours, I was able to get a relief. And then I got to watch TV once again, and then I dozed off, and that's how I made it through day 4. Imagine that was day 4. Day 5, I'm super drained because of the night before. I'm tired, my chest is down, I have a headache, my tears just won't stop rolling. I'm crying, and I'm stuck in my bedroom. And then one of my big sisters shows up again. I mean, my family. She shows up again. She comes into my bedroom. I'm listening to gospel music, really slow music. She says, no, we have to switch this up. It has to become like, you know, interesting music. Then she tells me, you know, I'm going for a kasiki. You need to give me a sexy dress. Get out of bed. She lays my bed and she's like, get out. I sit out. She makes my hair. Amidst this, remember, I am positive. That's what I'm saying. I do not know where and when and how I'm going to thank my sisters, because she boosted me up on day 5. She got me out of bed. She was not even going wherever she was going, but it was just to get me out of that dumpy mood. Day 6, I'm much better. Day 7, cough kicks in. Guys, I start to cough like non-stop. Day 7, 8, 9, I am coughing badly. And then I start to take Brozedex. I don't know, I may not be permitted to talk about medical stuff, but I started to take that. It's just about 5,000 in the pharmacy, and this helped my cough to become really very productive. And then I was able to keep on spitting it out because it was really thick and it was really bothering me so much. So I was coughing for 4 straight days with so much chest pain. Day 10, I'm good, and I'm thinking, okay, no, day 10, I can't breathe again. I go back to today, like the symptom I had on day 4, and I was like, no, this is not good. So I panic a lot. But then the next day, I'm like, what about if I'm negative? So I went and took my test, and I was negative. But still, I was panting, and I was gasping for air. I was losing breath, like suddenly. So a particular night, I come back home at about 7 after my walk, and I can't breathe, guys. So from 7 till 2 a.m. I wasn't breathing. First thing in the morning, we go to see the doctor. He checks my oxygen, it's at 100. She's like, so, what are you anxious about? Why are you panicking? What is the problem? And I told her, what are you talking about? She says, you see, you have anxiety. That's why your oxygen is at 100. So I need you to calm down. I need you to really relax and calm down. And I'm going to give you just a tablet for just 1 or 2 nights, and then it will help you. And I want you to stay away from the news. I want you to stay away from depressing stuff. So I said, okay, I come back home, and then it happens again. And I really didn't want to medicate myself because I had already taken tons of medication. So that's why I brought this mask here. I want to show you what relieved me. Because my nose was stuffy, I just got onions and I put them in here, and then I would pound the onions and then remove whatever it is that was in, and then just the juice immediately I would put it back on and I would sniff. So that sniff would I don't know what it does, the onions, but the onions are magic, guys. The onions were our lifesavers. So that way I was able to sneeze out lots of flu and I was able to relax. So yeah, and then before I knew it, I was out and now I'm feeling so much better, and that's why I'm here to give you my experience. And now I'm going to tell you the things that we did. That was just a story. So we did quite a number of things to help us. One, we drank the concoctions. I mean, it's a hula baloo right now in Kampala, and in Uganda they're making so much fun of the herbs. Yes, the herbs are working for whatever it is that you think is working, right? So for example, for me, I drank lots of turmeric, ginger, and I think garlic mixed together. My sister makes that mixture, so if you want the mixture that relieved me so much, you can as well inbox me or just put it down in the comment section, and I will let you know what that was and how you can get it. Super affordable. So we had that mix. We were drinking it 3 times a day. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of teas. Yeah, so I was drinking lots of teas, especially the Ketepa Pride. I don't know where that is. That is from Nairobi, I think, and they're really super affordable. They're like 6,500. So I had like all of the varieties. I had the immune tea, I had the ginger tea, I had the lemon tea, I had caramel to make me feel good, and then I also had the fruity one. So I would make a concoction, and if it was so strong, I would just drop in a tea bag of maybe caramel or the other one. Those teas helped me a lot. They helped to give flavor to whatever it is that I was drinking. We were adding honey in all these mixtures to make it just so easy and super easy. I never, from the time I was diagnosed, took cold water, you know, so I just adopted into hot water. I kind of like had a moving flask with me, you know. So we drank lots of warm water, lemon in water, honey. Practically everybody in my house knew that I was drinking tea anytime. So anytime I'll be like, hey, they will just bring me the tea. So tea worked a lot for me. We did so much steaming. We used, I've not brought them here, but we used peppermint. But also we used, because I am now into flowers and I have herbs as well. We used lots of peppermint, the oil, but we also used just the spearmint, like the leaves, spearmint, apple mint, peppermint, all of them. So you just boil them in the water and put them in. So this would really bring some kind of relief. Eucalyptus leaves. There was so much going on that we were lucky that it's not till now that there's so much other stuff going on being used. But what we were using that time was legit. And let me tell you, every time we were steaming, I saw it from my husband, I saw it from myself, and later when my dad also caught it, I saw it from him. There was so much relief after steaming. So we're steaming about 3 times a day. So the daily routine was wake up, sit under the sun, eat a bowl of fruits. Thank God for Uganda, we have lots of pineapples around. eat pineapples. After that, we would have breakfast. Let's talk eggs or whatever it is that was there. Thankfully, me and my husband didn't lose appetite, but I did lose my taste for about 3 to 4 days, and that one is a story of its own. You know, it's terrible to lose your taste, but we were all able to pull through. Our appetites were intact, so we ate. Only that at a certain point, I was eating tasteless stuff, extremely tasteless. Even water seemed bitter, but I mean, we pulled through. We were sleeping quite a lot. We played badminton, so I urge you to find a game that you can play. If you cannot walk, because you're not really meant to leave your house, if you can find an exercise that you can do within your compound or within your space that will work for you. So we played lots of badminton. It is not allowed, yeah, but family went above and beyond. I shout out to my little brother Toby, shout out to my big sisters Benna, Sharon, Carol, Stella, shout out to Julie, shout out to my little sister Regine, and by the way, who all caught the virus, and we all had different symptoms. That is why, even if you're not sick, guys, just stay home. Even if you're not sick, because you just don't know how the next person is going to react. My husband had headache. I didn't have headache. My big sister had a swollen eye and full nose the whole time. I didn't have that. Another one is coughing from day 1 to day 10. Another one did not cough. Sharon had chills. Another one did not have chills. One was really bedridden. Another one was not bedridden. Guys, please do not move around when you're sick. Try to stay home and try to keep hydrated. Oh my God, we were so hydrated. We drank lots of water, we drank lots of juice, we drank lots of tea, and we stayed positive. I won't lie to you, 1 or 2 days I lost it. Like I said, I went mute and I went mental, but it all came back. And I was sure that I needed to heal from it. I was sure that I needed to get out of it, and indeed, we did get out of it. I want to say thank you to my sister Benna, especially my sister Benna, my sister Sharon, Carol, Julie. Guys, this is all about family. My family was here. My family in France was calling in all the time, my father-in-law. This helped us to get back on our feet. So many times people are stigmatized, you know. My husband was able to come and sit outside when he was sick. I too was able, but like I said, we are different. I was more tired than him, so I spent more time in bed compared to him who would sit out for 15 minutes and go back. So yeah, we were hydrated, we played badminton, we sat out for the morning sun and evening. We took lots of concoction, we steamed, we took the prescribed medication, we listened to advice. I particularly had to stay away from the news, I had to stay away from calls, I had to stay away from drama, basically because I was more affected with the mental side of it as opposed to just being sick. Yeah, so I want to urge all of us to stay home. I want to urge all of us to stay safe. I want to urge all of us to stay away from the worst news. And one thing I cannot forget to talk about, and I'm embarrassed that I am bringing it up now, was spirituality. Guys, I love God, but I loved him more. And this is what I want to tell you out there. Are you drained? Are you out of your mind? Are you thinking, God, why? Why did it have to come to my house? You said you love me. You said when I'm in trouble in Psalms 91, I'll call out to you and you will answer me. Look here, guys. If you are at that point and you don't know what to do, I urge you to just read the Bible and just send it back to God. Say, you know, this is what your word says. How come this is happening? I was dwelling so much on Psalms 91. I dwelled so much on Psalms 121, Psalms 140, Psalms 27, Jeremiah 33. I was all over the place with God's word. I was meditating. I was saying the Divine Mercy. Shout out to my Catholic fam, the Divine Mercy. My mom and my dad. Let me give you a short story. So when my mom was at my house. That's when my husband tested positive, but she was leaving that morning. So when she left, he couldn't even come and say goodbye, which is not him. So when she reached home, she kept calling, how is Cyril? How is he? And I kept saying, Cyril is fine, he's better. Little did I know that somebody who I still don't know up to now had told them that he tested positive. But because I didn't want to scare them, I never really mentioned it to them. So they kept calling every morning, and I kept wondering, why are they like this? So when we came out of this whole COVID mess, I called my dad. I'm like, Daddy, we are fine. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, we are good. And I'm like, but why all this? And he's like, we got to know. I told him, you got to know. What? He was like, we got to know that Cyril was sick and that you're also really sick. I was bombed, guys, because, I tried so hard not to let them know. So yeah, that is my story. Oh, the baby. I stayed sleeping with my baby. She's 8 months she's 9 going to 10. I stayed sleeping with Bree, but I isolated the others. I wasn't sitting with them. I was doing practically nothing with them. But the baby, I could not let her out of my bed. But this is what I did. The onions, guys. The onions are miraculous. The onions work wonders. I was pounding onions in a piece of cloth, and then I was putting them on her chest every night, and I was putting them in her socks, and every month, some mornings she would wake up with a runny nose, and I would be so worried, and I'd be like, Rona, is that you? But then I would keep on putting the onions, and then even for myself, there's a point in which I couldn't breathe. I also used onions. Onions also helped me. So yeah, that's my experience. And as I ended, these guys were a big part of my healing. My plants. My plants healed me. Every time I could not sleep in the night, I would just walk around and water them, talk to them, love them, and then I even transformed a space for them. And yeah, my healing really depended a lot on family, on my own intimate household family, on the plants. I want to shout out to my helper who helped me a lot with the baby, and by the way, who did not catch the virus. Can you imagine? Every day at 6 a.m. she would say, Auntie, can I have the baby? She would take the baby away at 6 a.m. She would have everything for me. I'm so grateful for my nanny, Kevin. I pray that God, enhances her and makes her path clear. And I will not stop this episode without doing what I do best, decreeing and declaring. I decree and declare healing unto all those that are sick. For the word of God says, I shall also decree and declare a thing, and it shall stand, and it shall come to pass. So I'm decreeing and declaring healing on my nation, healing on my relatives who are sick, healing on my friends, healing on my community, and healing to the world at large. Father in heaven, we bless your name for the gift of life. It is now that we know what it means to be loved and to be saved. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving my husband, for saving my family, and thank you for saving all those that you have saved. And I also particularly pray for my friends and family that are losing their loved ones. The word of God says he alone knows the plans he has for us, plans to prosper us and plans not to fail us. So we cannot question him. He is who he is. He is omniscient. He is omnipotent. He's a miracle working God. He's a mighty man in battle. I know that he knows what's happening. It's all in his plans. But my prayer every night is that he will save my nation. I call forth the precious blood of Jesus to be wrapped around each and everybody's gate, just like in the book of Exodus when the Israelites were being faced with torture, and then there had to be signs on every door. I prayed this night that God places his precious blood on everybody's door who is watching, who will watch, and who will be told about this video, that you will be protected, that COVID-19 shall not take from your household, that you shall not mourn to it. I command this death to disappear. You gave us power in the book of Luke to trample over serpents and to trample over whatever it is that we have to. Therefore, I command the spirit of COVID-19 to lose its hold on my country, to lose its hold on my nation, to lose its hold on my family, on my household, and on everything that's God's creation. Again, he says it's the molder and we're just but clay. I ask him, especially tonight, to heal all those that are gasping for air, Father in heaven. Psalms 121, we look up to you where our help comes from. May you go before us, with us, and after us always. And as I am ending, I want to advertise my plants. Guys, look, I have international plants and local plants. International and local. I'm going to start with my favorite, the peace lilies. I have the peace lily. I have this crawling Monstera adansoni. In Uganda, we have the big Monstera with thorn leaves. And now I bring to you the small tears. I have the money plant in all her glory. Look, you don't want this, you don't want the certain type. I have the Mebo type. You don't want the Mebo type. I have the neon type. I also have the Pala palms over here. This is the cutest palm I've ever come across. She is soft. She is beautiful. She doesn't grow so long. She's just there. I have the Z plant, which originates from East Africa. Get yourself the black one. Never seen in Uganda before. Look at this baby. I don't even know. And do you love your family? We at Power Blooms, at my shop, we give you a plant and a cup. We help you prophesy. We help you affirm. And we help you speak into whatever it is that you want. Look, I have here with me, I love my family. Guess what I do for you? You love a plant, I just get the plant and I put it there. Then you have a cup and you have a plant. Whenever you want to water your plant, you put it aside and you have a drink in your cup. I have all these beautiful cups. I have joy, I have peace, I have blessed. I also have cactuses. Look at that. Look at that. I have the mini rock garden. There it is. I have the water plants, guys. This guy here is just gonna sit on your dining table. It's gonna sit on your office desk, and all you have to do is top up its water maybe once or twice a month. Just about that. I want to show you the Sansevieria, locally known as the mother-in-law tongue, or it's also known as the snake plant. This one is a great oxygen giver. This one will give you oxygen. She's perfect for your bedside. She is perfect for your office desk. She is perfect for your bathroom. So this is the imported one, but I just want to show you the local one, which is up here. You can see. This one over here is the common snake plant. I have her in a smaller size. I have the philodendron. I have this one. I have the green princess. Super, super nice plant. I have the philodendron, which is very lovely. Most of my plants are indoor plants, and most of them are air purifiers. They will generate the kind of air you want, especially right now, guys. I urge all of you to buy a plant, because guess what my slogan is? Starting new on Plant Parenthood. Please start Plant Parenthood with me. And if you are not on it, or you are a plant parent already, let me enhance it. Let me give you stuff. Have you seen this monster? This cute baby? Look. I have all these guys. I'm generally happy to be back. I urge you to share my videos, subscribe, man, guys, subscribe. I am on Instagram as Power Blooms, that's the flowers, and on YouTube, Amos Diaries. Please drop me a subscription down there, and please, let's share positive stories. People are healing. People have healed. Let's talk about the healing. Let's talk about what we did. And for those of you that lost your loved ones, I'm so sorry. I mourn with you and ask God to comfort you and to hug you. Till next time, thank you guys so much for listening in, for tuning in, for sharing, for commenting, for loving, for going to buy these plants. Thank you. I love you all. And I will see you next time, because you know what? Summer is loading. I am a great optimistic person, and I know in August I'll be out of here celebrating summer. So see you in August. It is well with our country, it is well with me, and it's well with my plants. Cheers! Ching ching!